Good morning, fellas. What's happening? You can see we don't have a pilgrim today as he is off with the family. And I am recently back from well, not too long of a trip. It turned out to be a bit of a long trip in terms of endurance, but it's good times. Good times. Went up to Wild Leap Brewery and hung out for a couple days up there. Ate some pretty good food, had some really good beer. Very cool. Hope everybody's all right today. So, like I said, we don't have Pilgrim, but we'll see what's going on in World of Tanks. I have not played a whole bunch. In fact, I played less this week than I did the week before. Although that was not because I was irritated by the game or anything. I just haven't had any time. I'm in the middle of a I am in the middle of a remodel, as you guys know. So I have a halfway torn out kitchen. I have an entire walk-in closet that's been cleared out. I have a little laundry section in the hallway that we cleared out. I'm going to have a bathroom taken down pretty quickly. So I've got stuff stacked in the house for almost 4 rooms, 3 rooms for sure, all over the place. So we have plastic bins and all of our kitchenware. You know, the kitchenware is crazy because the kitchenware is like that's not something you just stack somewhere. We bought a bunch of plastic bins, but it's everywhere. It's on every counter, every piece of furniture has plates and stuff stacked on it. So we're gonna do a culling though. I think since the wife and I sort of look at what we have there, we're gonna start getting rid of stuff. I have one big load of stuff to go to Habitat for Humanity to the Restore. My recommendation, by the way, fellas, if you're gonna donate stuff, donate to Habitat, your local Habitat for Humanity, because that money goes right back into your community. But if you're gonna donate to any charity, make sure it's a local one and it goes right back to your community. Do not give the big industrial charities your money. Since we're off on that tangent anyway, if you're ever in say Home Depot or Lowe's or Publix or any of these big chain stores and they have the thing, hey, do you want to give to the kids or to the dogs or the veterans or whatever? Don't do that. Because what they do with that is they gather all that money and then when they donate it, they use that as a charity write-off as if they had given it. That is one of those things that annoys me. Value Village is just as expensive as Walmart. Yeah. Is that a charity near you there, Jimmy? It sounds like Goodwill. Yeah, Goodwill as well. I mean, I know a lot of those people are trying to do their best and do good work, but there are places where the overhead cost is less, and I think Habitat's one of those. You do have to pay people. Having worked with a charity for about a decade now. Obviously, if you have employees, people have to get paid, and they want to make a living. Not necessarily get rich kind of thing, but we have a executive director, and she makes a decent amount of money because she's running an organization with about 20, 25 people, and she's building, helping us build 4 to 6 houses a year. You got to have a construction manager. Those guys aren't cheap. All that kind of stuff. But whatever you donate to, donate local. I guess is my biggest takeaway from all that. Man, I really got on that tangent. How did I get there? Oh, that's right, because I'm taking a bunch of donations to it. We'll take just about anything too. They have what's called a restore, especially household goods, I guess. It'll depend a little bit on your local one what they will actually accept. Ours accepts clothes, but not all of them will do clothes because clothes is a fairly in the charity business. Reselling clothes is a fairly labor intensive issue because you kind of got to wash them and you got to sort them. The sorting is a pain. So when people just bring a bunch of gnarly old clothes, it's funny how much we spend on throwing stuff away. That's the other thing. Don't take junk. If you know it's junk and you don't want it and it's junk, don't donate it to someone. Just chuck it. Oh, Brute, what's up? Good morning, Gator. Good morning, Jimmy. We get that a lot. People just bring absolute junk. One of the other things they'll take is if you do a construction project, say like I'm doing it, maybe you're doing it yourself and you have leftover stuff, a significant amount. Not like 4 nails, but you got a box of nails or screws or you got some good lumber or something, they will take that. Yeah, we actually have rules against that, Jimmy. And it kind of depends. We've had issues with it in the past. It's hard to monitor, but the policy is that doesn't happen for that very reason, because all the good stuff gets grabbed. And we had that issue in the past. You'd have people call their friends, say, look, I just got this really good washer or dryer. Come on in and I'll make sure you get it, kind of thing. On the one hand, if as long as the price isn't lowered, now that's where we really have an issue, right? Where they're underselling stuff that otherwise would have made some money for the organization. That's a big problem. Obviously, cherry picking is also a problem, but as long as the money comes in. But well, there you go. Donate if you can. Donate your time if you don't have the stuff or money, but time as well, man. All right, cool. What are we doing? I don't know. We're doing some tanks. We, like I said, I was up in LaGrange, Georgia, and went to Wild Leap Brewery, which is a really good brewery, award-winning brewery up there. Got the story from it. I didn't know this, but I guess it was, I don't know if they were military. I'm not sure if they were. I don't think they were. But 3 guys basically decided they wanted to open a brewery. I think it was 3, but that's why it's called Wild Leap, because they just decided to do it and took a big old leap and made some really good beer. I don't know if it was one of them, or they brought in a good brewmaster, or how they got the guy or the team that makes the beer. But they have won amazing awards with it, and they make some of the best IPAs in the country without a doubt. And they've got a stout called Lone Buffalo, which is maybe one of the best stouts I've ever had. So that was cool. LaGrange is an interesting little town. They actually have a couple good restaurants in there, so ate some good food. Although the guys I was with weren't really interested in sitting down and having a really nice meal, so there's probably a couple really good restaurants in there that would be worth going. It was more pub fare and stuff like that we ended up eating. So that was a good time. We did that Thursday, Friday, came back yesterday, and then had a party I had to go to, Halloween party I had to go to yesterday. Hit that up for a couple hours, and here we are. Yeah, Jimmy. So I would say definitely New England style or hazy IPAs are probably my favorite. I do like the West Coast, but really nearly any IPAs. I'm not a huge fan of sours, although sometimes there'll be one that's okay. Not a big fan of saisons or gozes. Those are all the kind of relatively sour, goofy taste to the flowery ones. Not a big fan. I do like porters. I do like stouts. So IPAs, porters, and stouts, I guess, long story short, would be my 3 favorite. A good Pilsner or a lager or a blonde is I like that, but I don't find those beers, at least at this point in my little beer journey, I don't ever find those to be super interesting tastes. It's nice when they're nice and crisp, and it's a summer day and you're just having a lager or a Pils or a blonde or something. That's cool. I like that, but if I had a choice, if I was going to have a beer with taste, it would be an IPA, porter, brown. I like browns, or a stout. Red ales, I'm okay with red ales. I actually also like. I brought back a 6-pack of. It's an English bitter. It's called ESB from Wild Leap, English Special Bitter. I like the bitters; those are pretty good. I like them in England too, with the nitro tap that they do. The really smooth kind of tasting beers, not a whole bunch of carbonation in them. Weiss are okay. I'm not a huge Weiss. There are a couple German ones that I like, and I feel like if you're in Germany, you kind of, or Denmark or something, you kind of got to have a Weiss when you're sitting out in the beer garden. They're okay. I was trying to think of the other one. I like a lot of the bourbon barrel stuff if it's not too much bourbon. Strawberry wheat ales, there you go. So those are good summer beers for me. I don't mind those. I would certainly have a half pint or a pint of that if I was sitting out in a beer garden in the heat or something. That's nice. I'm trying to think of the other style. It'll come to me. Can't think of it. It's a darker beer, but it's a European darker beer. It'll come to me. I can't think of it. Schneider Weiss is your favorite? Right on. Yeah, so that was good. I probably destroyed my diet for 14 years. Definitely like stouts, DiCardi. Oh yeah. So I do a thing called Untapped, It's an app that it actually tracks your beers, and they've gamified drinking different beers. I am currently 52 beers away from having tasted 5,000 different beers, which is the next level to get a badge since they gamified it. You know, badges. Yep. All right. I played 10 battles this week, I think. Let's find out here. I was just looking at it, and I think it's 10 battles. Maybe if it shows up here. Yeah, in the last 7 days, 10 battles. Good news is it was a 70% win rate. So that's good. Didn't get a whole lot done. We are working on the Selma, which is going okay. I'm at 45%. That's not a great win rate. Again, this is a tank that takes a lot of effort to play and play well. But I enjoy that tank. It's actually pretty fun. We're working on the Patton KR. I think 46% on that. These are two tanks I'm struggling a little bit with to get above 50%. Although this one, stats-wise, 1,500 average damage, 1.35 damage, 2.0 destruction. I think this will be fairly easily above 50% when I get done, because those are numbers that support an above 50% win rate in general for my medium. So we'll see how that goes. I was above 50, but I had like an 8-game losing streak, maybe 6. I'm working a little bit on the AAT60. I like this quite a bit. I have brought I'm also playing a little bit of the Object 268. For some reason, I'm actually liking this dumb thing. You played 8 games, Wayne? Yeah, it slowed down. Slowed down for me. You guys were saying that on some of my videos, that you thought maybe it was some of the people playing. A lot of people were playing this mode, whatever it is. What's it called? Babylon Project. A lot of people playing the Babylon Project. But yeah, it's been rough out there. So I like the 268, playing that a bit. Play a little bit of the Tiger Mouse. Always playing the Manicore because I'm trying to get it to as high as I can in the number of games played. So the next one for it to pass is about 200 games to get past the 53, 55. I don't know if I'll ever get to the Lurva at 4,000. I can't believe how much I played those tier 8s. Tried to grind credits back in the day. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of real life distractions for me as well, man. And I think that's kind of it. A little bit of the Blesk and the Lorraine. I have been playing the Lorraine a bit. I really like this tank. I don't do particularly amazing. I'm at 54%, which is okay. But I like it because it's mobile. The gun's pretty good. It just doesn't heavy tank really great. So I probably need to shift gears a little bit to more of a heavium idea. Experimental mobility. Experimental mobility. Let's see, what is that? That would be... Oh yeah, okay. So, whole traverse. Engine power, that's good. Top speed, top reverse speed. A little less dispersion. Yeah, that's... Oh, right, I see. That's probably a good idea. I wonder if I might be able to make one. I only have 400, though, unfortunately. I thought I had a bunch of extras of these. Do I really only have one? Alright, that's weird. I could have swore I picked up several of these. Why do I... Huh. What's going on here? Oh, okay, so I probably have to go to my depot to see what I actually have. That was just limited to what I could move, I guess. Let's see if I can make... I have one extra. Okay, I only have this extra fire control system, so I can disassemble that. I don't have enough to make a good. I guess I could get to level. I can't get to level 2. It's better than nothing, yeah? Maybe I'll try that. We're going to go ahead and disassemble this, and we'll be 100. Oh shit, was that it? That was a higher level one, wasn't it? Did I just disassemble like a level 3? How did I? Oh, I did. I just disassembled a level 3. Are you kidding me? Whatever. Oh, that was a mistake. Oh well. Oops. That's what happened. I didn't realize that was a level 3. I thought it was a level 1. That was weird. Yeah, I don't think I have anything with the fire control system on it. Good news is I just disassembled a level 3 one, I think. So that was smart. Okay, what else are we working on? I think that's it. I was playing a bit of this CS52C, this fast version with the little 250 Alpha, I think it is, gun. I don't know, man. This thing is not so good. Kind of painful to play. And then I've got the tier 6s that are on hold because we're waiting for the next battle pass, which, by the way, guys, this battle pass is going to November 26th. It is October 27th, so you're about 30 days inside. We have dates for Christmas as well. We'll get to that in a little bit. So good morning to the rest of you guys. Well, we got Jimmy, Grendel, Gator, Wayne, Not Working, Descartes, O'Brute. I think that's everyone who's in here talking. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. I just have so much to do this weekend, man. I don't even know where to start. Just all the stuff around the house. We need to get rid of some stuff. I got to take that stuff to Habitat. I need to prep the yard because I'm going to buy a shed. I need to get a shed. I need to then I'll have to move the shed stuff. Holy cow, man. It's literally that point where you have so much stuff to do, you have a hard time starting, but you gotta, hey, Eighth Hustlers, how you doing? But you gotta just pick that one thing and get going on it. That's the challenge right there. I'm gonna have to pick the one thing and get going on it. Plus I have to manage my fantasy football team today, so that's very important. Absolutely critical that I do that. Other games I'm playing, I'm still playing some Panzer Corps 2. I'm stuck on one mission in particular that I'm trying to work my way through. Interesting, even though I am cheating like a bad dog with as much prestige as I want, I still can't beat it. But I think I have a plan. I kind of like that though. Actually, it's given me a challenge. I wasn't able to just walk over it. It's going to require it's a relatively short time frame, and I have to do a couple things that aren't very easy. And there's a lot of bad guys out there. He is MIA, Wayne. He is with the family. Football trumps house chores. That's right. Well, the good news with fantasy is you can track it on your phone, and you don't really even have to watch it, right? I don't really sit down and watch whole games anymore, to be honest. It's been a long time. Every now and again, if it's a really good college game, I'll sit down and watch a whole game. Wasn't much yesterday. I guess the Ohio game was decent. I watched a good portion of that. I thought Nebraska was going to pull that off for a minute, but too much talent on Ohio. And then I did watch a little bit of the Navy game just to see if the hype train could keep going, but the hype train went off a cliff. Oh man, watch Red Zone shows yeah. I don't know, Jimmy. Every now and again, I think that's a great idea, like these different places where you can watch multiple games. But I don't. Did Texas win? Nice. Texas A&M won. I fell asleep to that game and went to bed, so I didn't know what happened there. It looked like they were winning though when I left. So Texas A&M beats LSU. The SEC is crazy this year. I guess that probably makes Texas A&M lead. They have to be on top of the SEC at this point, right? Got to be. Well, now that the SEC is there a playoff for the SEC anymore? Because they don't have East and West. So is the SEC championship just whoever gets the top record? I haven't been tracking that very good. I'm not sure how that plays into the 12 game. Just the top two. Okay. So just the top. All right. Yeah, this year has been crazy. Absolutely crazy for the top 10. Which is probably a good thing. That means maybe there's a little more parity. There's not, four teams, three or four teams. There's maybe, 6 to 10 that are kind of in it. It's still fairly limited which teams are really the top teams in the country, but I think it has widened it out. Even though I think in general Portal and NIL have been kind of a shit show in my opinion. On the other hand, you have to admit it appears at this point anyway to have kind of made it a bit interesting. We'll see. What else was I talking about? The other games. I did pick up Mech Warrior 5, so I've been playing that a little bit. I don't know, man. It hasn't. It's cool, but so far it hasn't grabbed me. And I'm gonna tell you, I gotta say something about these games these days, man. Mech Warrior 5, I would say, is an example. Maybe even the Baldur's Gate, which I sort of walked away from after about halfway through it. These Class A titles or whatever they are, the top tier. These games that have these big elaborate storylines that you take Mech Warrior and you make a storyline, right? You take like Baldur's Gate. So instead of just creating a party that you then go adventure, there's this big backstory and all this BS that kind of is the story, right? I don't care, man. I don't care about these stories. I just want to play a cool game that has great mechanics. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I must be the outlier on this, but I'm so tired of these, especially when they get into all this social engineering kind of stuff, all this, modern sensibilities about this, that, and the other. It drives me absolutely crazy. And I guess I like a little bit of background and history and all that is interesting, and maybe a kind of background story. But these very elaborate, right? These young developers and writers, vent their spleen into the story. I think the new game, Dragon Age Veilguard, is a lot like this. They put all their ideas into the story. I don't give a shit, man. I don't care. Drives me crazy. Is that a game, Grendel? Forever War? I read that book. That is one of the best books I've ever read. If I haven't read that book, guys, it's The Forever War by Hal something, I think. He was a Vietnam vet. Extraction shooter, really. Well, there's a book, Haldeman, Joe Haldeman, not Hal. Joe Haldeman. I was on the right track. And there's a game called that. Is it based on that at all? Forever War game. I'm gonna look at this. No, that's a board game. Huh. Forever War. There's a card game. Yeah, interesting that he used the same name. But I guess that's that's a fairly common statement, right? A Forever War. I don't know if Haldeman's estate or whatever has that copyrighted or whatever. The Forever War book, though, that I'm talking about is the concept is humanity just getting out into space. They run into this alien race, and they start fighting essentially, but they're having trouble communicating because they don't really understand each other. And because of the distances, you do cryo sleep. I don't know if that's what he calls it, but basically the soldiers get in the ship and it takes X number of years, decades, sometimes hundreds of years, kind of thing, to get to where they're going to have the battle. So it's very cool, kind of having that concept going on, and it follows a guy who's in the very first group, I think Marines actually, of Space Marines or whatever they call them, and he survives the whole war. So it's these like snapshots in literally in time as he goes to these battles, and then jumps back, and then when he gets back, it's been 100 years or 200 years or whatever it is, and the changes in the society as he comes back. The corollary there is going to Vietnam or going to war basically, and then coming back home and it not really being the same place, like things have changed kind of idea. You left a year ago, but you came back and everything's different because you went to war and all that. So that was kind of what he was writing about. So he follows this guy through the whole thing, and I won't give up any rest of it, but it's really worth a read. You probably did, Grendel, because it's been out for a long time. He wrote it sometime fairly soon after he came back from Vietnam, I think, in the 70s. Awful lot of things to remember because you go ranked. There's so many things to do in the plane. War Thunder. Yeah. I played some War Thunder aircraft. It was okay. We've talked about it before. My issue with the War Thunder and the World of Warplanes thing is it's just a little too arcadey for me. So my Twitch skills aren't great. So I tend to get wiped out and not know how I died. Kind of like if I jump into these first-person shooters, like Fortnite, things like that. I can be running around and not understand how I died. People are just that much better than me, and so it's very frustrating, and I can't get into it very much. Which is why I like DCS, because DCS is more like the real thing. You can still get pixel sniped by guys in DCS because they are that good at flying the airplanes. But I find that plus in DCS I can fight the AI or I can fly with my buds, that kind of stuff. Still, War Thunder, airplanes and World of Warplanes are fun. It's just not really up my alley. Pong has a great backstory. Yeah, you can really dive into the lore of Pong. You can get lost in the story of the dot and the two whatever they are, the solid bits that it bounces off of. Oh, it's Digital Combat Simulator, Sasquatch. It is it's not exactly a mill sim, but it's kind of an idea of a mill sim. They've done a lot of work to make it very close to the real thing, or at least as close as they can get with all the unclassed information out there that's on the interweb highway net. There is a steep learning curve, but they do have 2 free airplanes, the Frogfoot, and I think maybe 3 free airplanes, I don't remember. But the game is free. The modules are very expensive. There's a couple airplanes you get with the game, so if you want to, download it and kind of try to fly around, but you will very likely want definitely a stick and a throttle. You could probably get away with that without the throttle as long as you had some kind of joystick or stick to fly with. Yeah, you would want a stick. You can do it with the keyboard, but there's no real reason to do that. It's just it's not built for the keyboard in any way. No, you're fine. There's a delay. You type in. The thing is, you type in, and then I'm probably talking about it before you really. How's that work? You're not getting my answer until a while later. So you might ask a question I'm currently talking about, but that's because there's a delay on the stream. Did I describe that right? I think I did. The typing is real time. When I answer, it may take a while. All right, cool. A good one can be $500-$600, but I'm talking about something like this, which you don't need, but I have. That is a. Oh my God, I can't think of the damn company now. WinWing. WinWing. That's a WinWing. All right, so that's a $500 or $600 setup with the stick. But don't get scared because you can get I would say couple hundred, and Yeah, so this throttle quadrant is what it's called, is basically the F15E throttle quadrant. It's got more or less all the same buttons. I have a stick as well, F15E stick. I think it's an EX stick or something, but interestingly built by the Chinese, which is hilarious. So this long answer, you can get, I'm trying to think of what they are. I don't have them in here actually. You can get a decent one that will work throttle and stick for a couple $100. WinWing. And isn't that what I said? Did I say WinWing or did I say something else? I have WinWing. Yeah. I probably said the other one, didn't I? Yeah, a couple $100. Thrustmaster, thank you, Kedge. There you go. That's the one. The Thrustmaster. The X1600, I think it is. Or 16,000 or something. Yeah, look up Thrustmaster throttle. Or throttle quadrant or Thrustmaster flight sim or whatever on either Newegg or Amazon, really. And you'll get all kinds of options in there. And if you... Very cool. If you have further questions, send me an email or send a note in chat. Send it to Kedge or me or Brute. Probably either one of us can answer your question on that, or chuck it in the... If you're on my Discord, chuck it in the Discord chat. Somebody will answer. All right, cool. DCS, obviously, I'm still playing some of that as well. I sent you a note, Brute, on that. I'm going to try to play Monday night. Whether you guys are there or not, I'm going to do a little bit if I can, but the remodel and everything is really up in the air for my time right now. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. All right. So eventually, I hope to have a MechWarrior 5. I think you can play MechWarrior with the throttle quadrant stuff. I haven't looked into that yet. I might try that, and I'm also thinking there's some VR. I haven't done that either, but I'm not sure if Clans has VR. I know that Mercenaries does, because I've seen videos on it, but I didn't see any videos with Clans, which is the new one. I would assume so. Somewhere in there must be some VR support. I looked a little bit into the options, and it didn't seem to have it. So I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm selling WinWing. I'm selling Thrustmaster. The Thrustmaster I had that for a while, and I flew. That worked fine. The only problem with the one Thrustmaster that I had, the throttle quadrant, it was only one throttle. It didn't have split throttles for two engines. So everything you did was both engines did it at the same time. Not a huge big deal. There you go, Sask. Well, what kind of games do you like, man? Check it out there. I think you'll get a lot of options in there. I have my turn-based stuff like Panzer Core, where I can just sit down and do turn-based stuff all I want and walk away if I need to. I have World of Tanks for my PvP itch. I've got DCS, so me and O'Brute and Slick can go fly and shoot each other down, which is a hell of a lot of fun. Or go after AI and shoot down a bunch of commies. And I've got MechWarrior, so I can stomp around on things. Yeah, you can get completely crazy with the setups for DCS. Oh, the truck simulator, yeah. Well, that's kind of the same thing. Those big truck simulator setups are a lot like doing a cockpit setup for an F-16. Same idea. I mean, you got these guys, they got the big wheel and all this stuff, and 42 screens those guys have got. Yeah. Falcon 3.0. Well, Grundle, that's what DCS is. So, in general, DCS is a kind of Falcon 3.0. What I will say, though, the difference is DCS is a little more freeform because you can take off from an airfield. You can fly around by yourself in DCS, and the maps are pretty big. So you don't necessarily have to be doing kind of the, Falcon 3.0, as I remember, you took off and the mission was to go to a place. DCS can be more free-flowing. You can go to a server and do a no-kidding mission. You can do some of the baked-in missions that they have, which have specific routes and things you have to do. Or you can just take off from an airfield somewhere and fly around. So, yeah, I saw a guy was doing one of these. I think he was doing Microsoft Flight Sim. That's the other one. The people who have actual airline simulators in their house. That probably makes O'Brute want to throw up. People have people have full on, 737s, triples, whatever they've built, Airbus setups, or maybe setups that can fly multiples of those kinds of things. And then they'll do videos of actual long haul flights. Crazy. And sometimes they're just flying it the whole time, or at least they're in the cockpit. Like there's 2-3 hour long videos of this, showing the takeoff and the landing and doing the weather and all, talking to ATC and all that stuff. I don't need an airliner sim. You have an airliner sim. You fly it every day as you go to work, or as you're working. Yeah, 2 hours of autopilot. It's crazy. People do it, man. People watch it. All right, we shall shill. Dude, all right, blue light. Hey, who is ready for? I know you guys are ready for this. This is amazing. I got the deal of the century for you guys today. You're gonna love this. Let me get this going here. I mean, talk about shilling. This is absolutely shilling at its finest. We're gonna go to featured. Now you can't beat this deal. You cannot beat. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Look. Oh no, I don't want to purchase it. I just want to look at it. Look at this. Look. $162. And what do you get for your $162? You get a Shrek. You get a crew with 3 perks, 10,000 gold, and 6 million credits. Queen of the Night, a bunch of personal reserves, and 35 5-buys for the Shrek. Because you need 35 5-buys for a premium tank, because you need to crank out as much experience on your Shrek as possible, so then you can then use your gold to convert it to free experience. So that went through my mind, Sasquatch. It absolutely went through my mind when I saw that. I'm like, are these really still selling that much? I mean, people don't have that right now in general, especially in the U.S., and I'm pretty sure it's close to the same everywhere else. How do they must sell them, I guess, right? They keep doing it. I think they have priced this crew with a lot. I mean, what's 10,000 gold is $40 or some such thing. $43. So that's $43. Where's that? Oh, there we go. 6 million silver is $15,000 gold. So 15,000 gold is, we're at $43. Let's do it over here. 15,000 gold. We got $43. We're gonna do 15,000 gold for the silver. That's $100. So $100 in gold and silver. The tank is $41, $140. I mean, honestly, I guess $20 for 3 crew like that. I mean, they have to make money to pay the cost of developing the stuff. But once the stuff is developed, all of this, especially a tank like this is not a new tank. All this is just profit. And the only thing they have to do in here is to sort of try to create the false scarcity or keep their game from getting so imbalanced with stuff that nobody plays. You might be laughing at that, but as imbalanced as things are in it, it's not the entirety of the game. It's a good portion of it. And people are still playing it. So my question is just, is this a price point, regardless of all of that, on whether any of this is worth it? Doesn't necessarily matter. My question is, how much of it are they selling? They must be selling it. Right? I mean, I suppose you could just put ridiculous stuff out here just as kind of a, ooh, look at this, and not expect any of it to be sold. But I feel like you're at least making an attempt to put a price point on it that you know historically people have bought. Does that make sense? Andy the Cupid, how you doing, man? It's like those commercials where some company comes up, says they have a discount, but they jack the price to... Yeah. I ignore this number right here, this 242. So really, the pricing I just did is about $140 of value from the 242. At which point it looks like a very silly value. It's not a value. Because I just did the math on these things straight up without a discount. So without the discount, you're only getting about $160 of value, and you would have spent $242. I ignore this number. This number is BS. Although, I think what technically it speaks to is, because we did the straight up value that I could just buy straight up with gold and silver, although there might have been a discount on that too. I don't think so. And that was only, what, $90 or $100 or whatever it was. And then the tank is, I can get the tank for $40, which I think is not discounted, or is it also discounted? So there's no discount there. So I can straight up get the tank for $40. So to me, there's only $140 of value there. The crew is harder to price, but if you think about that, they have priced all of this at 242, there's 140 straight up value, and then the rest of the money, the $100, is the crew and the style and these 25 by PRs and the ×5. That's insane. Which is why I don't believe the top number. Still though, that's the price that they've put on all these things, which still seems kind of subjective and random to me. But I don't know. I guess maybe they sell them. In any event, if you need the Shrek and you got to have all this stuff, you're going to need $162. 3D style is $14. The turtle is out as well. It's $40, unless you want to style and a bunch of stuff. And then the E75TS is back out, and it's $42. Yeah, Grendel, if you've been around for a while, well, here's another massive bundle. I didn't notice this down here. The E75 has a similar bundle. Yeah, it's the same, but for the E75, all the same stuff. Yeah, if you've been playing any amount of time, you probably don't need any crew. I mean, I still have. What do I have here? These are just special crew I still have. And honestly, at this point, I'm putting them into premiums. However, there is a new line coming out. We'll talk about that. It's more than you get free. Yeah, the zero skill thing doesn't help. It just gets you there a little faster, doesn't it? That's about the only thing it's doing for you. Yeah, it's a line of all premium Japanese arty. It's just an LEF that is upscaled at each tier, doing more damage and more accuracy. And it's wheeled with turbo. And if you press X, it can teleport to other parts of the map. That's it. That's what they got. All right. Something in my coffee. What the heck, man? All right. Something that's not coffee was in my coffee. That's not good. Babylon Project is still out. Anybody finish it? Any of you guys finish Babylon Project? Did you get the tank? Did you get the Nurgle? Anyone get the Nurgle? Anybody just buy the Nurgle? Anyway, that's what I really want to know. Who of you got frustrated and threw money at it? Did he good, Sasquatch? Congrats to your son. Gave up. Too annoying. Grendel finished. Well done. Grendel both finished it and finished it. So that was fantastic. I do see him around. I saw them like the first day, so some people just kind of bought them, I think, more or less. Not working, didn't do it. I didn't play it or buy it either, Andy. Did not play a single game of it. He and his clanmates got her done. Yeah, I think if you got a good group, you can probably get it done. It's still going to be a grind, but probably easier than trying to solo that thing. Hustler's no play. No reason to throw money at it unless you have time and really want a meh tank. Yeah, the tank was sort of, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not even sure. I don't think they even threw one at us as a community ambassador or whatever it is I am at this point. Let me see. No, I have no Nurgle. I'm Nurgleless. I'm unnurgled. I heard that. I saw some of you guys typing in the chat on the clan Discord that people were getting a little frustrated with it. Judgment Day is still going, fellas. 8 hours, all right? 8 hours. Make sure you buy the 832. This is actually a pretty good tank. I mean, if you like American hold-down tanks, if you like your T-32 but you'd rather make more credits, get this. It's not an exact T-32 rep clip. It's pretty close. I think it's a little bit better. Bit more accurate, less DPM, I believe, as I recall. We did the featured, Battle Pass. You can try Watt Plus for free still. They've got the little button. But remember, you're going to put your details in. 30 days free, then $9 a month. So you're going to have to be on top of it to make sure that you don't, if you don't like it or only want your free month, you're going to have to be on top of it to reset it or cancel it, I guess really is the word. Vehicles here. This used to be a tab where they had lots of stuff. Now it's just the permanent offers. All of the standard people are in there. And then, of course, they have the new section for styles if you're into the 3D styles. This is actually kind of cool. I mean, I think they're stupidly overpriced, but that's just my opinion. Good news is, though, some of these cool styles you can pick up anytime you want. So if you want to do that, you want your tank to have bling and you're willing to pay a price, you can do it. Tried it the next day, click cancel. It ran for 30 days and ended. Oh, okay. So there's the hot tip, guys. Make sure I understand that, oh brute. You literally signed up for it, and then the next day you canceled it. It went 30 days and went away. No problem. That's actually good. Cool. That's a great tip. Right? I wouldn't even thought about that. I thought you'd probably have to wait, or maybe there was a window, or I guess I really wasn't thinking how you would cancel it. Well, good on them. If it's that easy, then that is actually good. Perfect. Well, there you go. You heard it here first from old Brute. So really, I guess there's no reason to not do it. Is it a 30-day window that it has nothing to do with the month. It's just the day you started and the day it ended. I guess that would. I mean, I suppose that would make sense. Just a 30-day window whenever. I might do that just to play the T54. Play it for a month and see how it goes. Did you like the tank? Did you play the T54 Brute? Was it any good? Did you? Did you? Did you? The coffee's kicking in, fellas. Oh, man. Fired up. What else we got going on? Let's jump over to... Here, there is a mission, a set of missions. It's probably just been running in the background because you don't have to do anything. But, just for your edification, you've got Czechoslovakia Independence Day. Played it, not intelligent enough to come in. Played it in Frontline, alright. Played it in Frontline. So we can, there's some stuff. We got some decals, got a flag. I think that is actually one of the ones you can sell. Maybe. Or it's this one. One of these two you definitely sell. So you do this. You can do that once every 24 hours. That just gives you these goodies. This is number 2. So top 10 player, you're going to get a day of premium. That's cool. You're going to get a little ticket to ride, a leaflet. Then you're going to do this. Top 10 experience. Okay, that's weird. So you do it once and then you do it 10 more times and you get the other leaflet and you get some more decals and stuff and inscriptions and whatnots. All kinds of little doodads. And then the final thing is a style. Czechoslovakian style. And for this you'll need 2800 damage, but you're also going to need the 2 tickets to open it up. It's tier 6 and above any tank. So it's not just Czech tanks. Right. Right. Well, you get the little gold drip too. What else do you get? I've forgotten. What is it? There's a little gold drip. There's the tank. There's the armor inspector or some such thing that's involved with it. What else is there? Oh, there's the ability to move your equipment around, just not your improved. That's pretty good. Can you move experimental for free with it, or is that also not involved? Not enough to... Yeah, that's right. There's... Yeah, pick a crew, right? You could pick a crew that's going to get trained, like, passively. Train a crew. Okie dokie. So that's that for me on this clan thing. I am working on number 8. So I'm at 375, headed towards getting number 8 finished. Yeah, $72 a year for a tank and all the other little doodads. You know, I wish I could trade in premium time for Watt Plus time. That would be cool. There's a mod you can use to do auto equipment return. Sold a bunch of my regular equipment and just moved my bounty stuff around. But that's if you have Watt Plus, right? Otherwise you're spending money every time you do that. Good math in public got you not working. Yep. I feel you. Been there. I think that's it for shilling, fellas. That's all the missions and specials and shilling. As I said, we are closing in towards the end, or in the last third of this battle pass. So it ends on the 26th of November, and relatively soon after that, I will give you the date momentarily. As soon as we take a break and I go get a new coffee, we're going to dive into the rest of the news, but we do have a date for the Christmas stuff. So that being said, 5 minutes. Let me go refresh my coffee, and I'll be right back.
Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. a tongue with strange dialect. He offered his help to the mighty Guido to bring some laughter to his love of speedos. To the coffee talk they both came, to bring the message of winning ways to all and sundry and the masses. Yes, that's right, lads and lasses. The damage counts and flexing back will keep you on the right track. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. So in what, if you want to progress, then seek out Guido nonetheless. With his sidekick Pilgrim, he has a message that to win you must be aggressive. The position and place that you must seek, for the winners only, not the weak. The guru speaks, so listen well. His voice rings out like the Liberty Bell to bring you all to Unicom land, or to die hard trying in the sand. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. To the swamplands came the mountain man to teach his wisdom and pay his due. A man with a name only known to a few. To his followers his words are true. Guido is the man, big and gruff. He used to fly jets, but now he does the tanking stuff. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. The mountains are home where he watches the moose and hummingbirds aplenty. But he saw the need for the Wat community to have a guru and lead them gently. Down the road to Unicom land will die, trying hard in the sand. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. So we broadcast his message far and wide, using YouTube, Twitch, and various means, to lead you to the promised land of WR. Win 8 and damage counts. That a mortal man is only stuff of dreams. Win your flank and then go back, was his mantra for the pack, to which they shouted, "Yes, boss man, that we will. Win our flank and then flex back." Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido.
All right, back. We almost had a tragedy. Oh, Zemke comes in with the instant insult. Doesn't even say good morning, just comes in and tells Kedge to shut up. Okay, all right, I see. Oh boy. Someone's to blame, and the most likely suspects are you two. 100%. Almost had a tragedy. My coffee maker wasn't working, and then I thought I'd figured out the problem, and then I didn't. We have a little coffee station in amongst the chaos of the remodel. Coffee in the microwave, but the cords where it's plugged in, the plug isn't quite long enough to get the little extension box for the plug-ins to sit anywhere, so the cords are hanging off the edge of the thing it's on, and it kept pulling out. So I'm going to add that to my list of stuff I have to unfornicate. Let's see. As a European player, understand let's be players. I thought we were generally interested in military games. That's a reason the world thinks. I don't know, Alejandro, Estevan. It's a good question. But yes, the Russians and Europeans apparently like World of Tanks a lot more. I don't know if there's more competition in the States for games, but since games are kind of worldwide, I don't know if that would really be a thing or not. Probably not. It's a good question, though. I don't have an answer for you. I do not know. Who knows? Somebody know? Redeemed a mod poll. Like the equipment options. You want a poll, Madam Yorktown? Those are streaming skills that I have very limited ability with. We don't have short attention span. Anyway, so what were we talking about? Well, 100,000. Look, we have 5,000 people right now, man. 6,000 if you add the 300 that are on the South American server. We're coming for you, man. We're coming for you. I don't think it's all this one type of people has a short attention span or whatever. It's just not popular in the States. It was pretty popular. Because the EU has a number of Russian players. For one thing, with all the Russians, with EU and Russia, there's just more people, I think, than the US, isn't there? I don't know. I haven't done that math. It's absolutely more popular in Russia. Russians do love their tanks, I think. But Americans love their airplanes for kind of the same reason that in World War II, the legend of the U.S. is the air power. For the Russians, the legend of World War II is the armored power. So that may have a lot to do with it historically, anyway. But they have split the Russians off, so I think there are some Russians playing on EU. That's where those other servers come from. But still, EU does have, what are they, usually 60,000 or so? Oh, I don't think the Russians' legends were their submarines. If anything, that'd be Germany, but I think Germans like their tanks too. There is something to be said, actually, because this is something that Wargaming positioned themselves to take advantage of, is that in a good amount of the EU, people have had less capable computers, older, less capable, not as good at internet, that kind of stuff. Not saying everybody, but that's a generalization. But Wargaming did position themselves to make a game that would play on those, and for a long time, only recently did they get rid of the support, I think, for the standard graphics, and they've only recently upped the min requirements based on the things they've done graphically with the game. But for a very long time, they specifically kept the game playable on a potato, as Jimmy says right there. That may have something to do with it, because a lot of the new stuff, you've got to have a much better rig. So that could have something to do with it. You know, the Western, especially U.S. people who've moved on with better gaming equipment, better computers, have moved on to other titles. I'm not saying that's it, like the only it, but I think that's probably a significant part of it. Okie dokie. Let's go on to subjects du jour. What do we got as far as World of Tanks articles? There's not a whole lot here, guys. Just the Independence Day. You can buy some of their merch. Oh, here's the big one, I guess, really, that we've got right now. There was a small patch that went in that opened up the Tech Tree trade-in. Has anybody done this? Oh, Pilgrim's here. Holy cow. Right on, man. Let's bring you in. So I probably have to bring the stream down. We'll do what we did last time. I'm going to bring the stream down real quick, and I'll bring it back up because I need to reconfigure to get Pilgrim in. So give me a second. We're going to stop the stream. We'll be back in less than 5 minutes, okay? I think we got it, fellas.
And I won't touch anything.
Do not
I won't touch it. Look, my hands are up here. It's not me. Oh, man, oh, man.
That was way too difficult.
It was, especially for a Sunday afternoon, morning. Anyway,
I can't figure it out. It's so annoying. It's so annoying that it does that, because I go into settings and it's the correct cameras and stuff, and it just, my camera will not. If I am in OBS and the OBS is using the camera, and I start Discord, I can't swap the cameras unless I completely shut down both things.
Right, because OBS is what you record, so you can post it later on, isn't it?
Right. So one of my so one of the sources in OBS is just the camera, direct to the camera.
Yeah.
But if I then try to turn that source off and use my source as Discord, which is then wanting to use the camera, but Discord won't use the camera because it thinks OBS owns it, and they won't swap.
Yeah. Because then you would have to record your screen as opposed to your camera doing the recording, because OBS would have to draw it from the screen, wouldn't it?
Well, it's just the source that you're using. It's just the two pieces of software are fighting over the camera authorization, and you can't just turn one off and the other one grabs it. I don't know why.
No, that would be the simple solution, wouldn't it? Anyway, where were we? Did anybody do the trading? Because I went to do it and it was rubbish, absolute rubbish.
I heard that. Yeah, that's what they're all saying.
Gold sink, thousands in gold just to do it. Absolute horrendous. I don't know what. Yeah, Wargaming are just taking the mickey. That's all. Anyway, you've moved on from that, haven't you?
Well, we haven't, because we were flailing around so much with trying to sort this out. I think the bottom line on the trade-in is A, it's not worth it, and B, why?
Yeah. Why would you?
Like, why did they even do it?
Well, yeah, why did they even do it? Because if you think about the likes of us and those, the whales that have almost all the tech trees. For example, I'm short of probably, let's say, 3 Polish and 2 Japanese, something like that. Now, to do that trading, to get me all the tiers that I want, first of all, you've got to have the tiers that you want to swap to start off with. So if you don't have a tier 10, you're not going to get a tier 10 on the next tech tree, because it won't give it you.
Oh, sure, yeah. Well, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. So there's no incentive for me to spend gold to swap my Russian tech tree for the Japanese one. You know, I can sort of see it doing it the other way. If you had a Japanese tech tree completed and you wanted the Russian one, then that might be worth it to get a 4.3U or something like that. But I certainly wouldn't pay. I think one quote, I had one thing come up with like 9 or 11,000 gold. I was like, really?
Yeah, pay to swap something that you already opened up.
Yeah.
That
I don't think
that makes no sense. If they'd have done it for in-game resources,
yeah.
but attaching gold to it is just dumb.
Can I come back to that particular point? Not attaching gold. In-game resources. I was going through some old screenshots I had in the files. I was trying to clear a few files out last night. Now, I started off the NA account as a free-to-play. Now, I've got the evidence, so I can prove this. On my free-to-play account, I had like 132 gold or something stupid like that.
Right.
But I had no word of a lie, 94 million plus silver, and 18,000 bonds, and I want to say 132 million XP. Right. This is way back when. This is like 6 years ago, 7 years ago maybe. I can't even get anywhere near that with silver these days. Nowhere near that. And now it's a pay-for account.
Well, because they've built a bunch of silver sinks. You've probably spent it on things
Probably
like
spent it all,
trade-ins
yeah.
and not
Yeah,
trade-ins, but
things.
assembly shop and
Probably.
black markets and auctions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show that, I mean, this was a free-to-play account, and like that, I had to double look at that. I had to double take on the picture because I was opening the files up. I was going, get out! I never had that much silver.
Yeah.
It was. I tell you what I was looking at. A couple of Badger games. I had a 5,000 plus damage and 3,000 assist on one of the Badger games way back when. And I looked up at that and I looked at the. I thought, there's no way I had that much silver.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got like 6 million now. I'm struggling to keep that.
I think I touched 100 once.
Yeah, I mean,
I made it a
mental.
goal
It's
once. I was
absolutely
right
insane.
after I finished all the lines some years ago, before they really started figuring out how to drain the silver out of the economy. I had
Yeah,
about 100, but it was a goal to get 100.
It's crazy though, isn't it? Cliffy's got it right, isn't it? Big kits, food, all that.
Yeah.
stuff, plenty
Well, yeah,
of
they
things,
figured
yeah.
out. They definitely built some silver sinks in there. All right, let's see what else we got going on. We got the all right. So here's the new heavy British tank, and you're going to be psyched, Pilgrim, because it's got an X mechanic.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, they've finally succumbed to the X mechanic for the Brit tanks. Stop it.
Because
Oh.
I mean, let's say you were wargaming and you had already a 2-barrel game mechanic.
Yeah,
and you're-
you'd want a
and-
2-barrel Brit, wouldn't you?
You would want it, but also you wouldn't want it to do it the same way.
Oh, of course not. No,
Yeah, that-
absolutely not. No,
You would want it to shoot its 2 barrels in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd call it a silly name.
So instead of holding a different key down in 3-second prep or whatever for a double shot, this one you hit X and then both cannons will go.
Yeah, of course it does. Of course it is. Just another button to press. When you're under stress, just another button to press. And then they call it a can opener. Really?
So after switching to the mode, if both guns are loaded, you can make a salvo, but several fire characteristics and the maximum forward speed are also reduced. Weird. So you can't go as fast, and you're probably less accurate. You can also switch to the single barrel mode by pressing the X button. In this case, both guns are loaded regardless of the mode you were in. That is, when shooting single shells, the second shell is loaded in parallel, and you can make a double barrel salvo after changing the mode. So what I'm getting from that is you can shoot single barrel, wait till that barrel reloads, hit X, and shoot both barrels. And I'm guessing then after that they both reload at the same time. So it's not a one barrel the other barrel.
No, one barrel or the other, both at the same time. It's a rapid second round clip in it, which gives over, I want to say somewhere like 800 HP of damage per double shot. Is that right?
I haven't looked at the stats.
390. It's 390 HP, I think, if I can remember, per shot. So if it's a double shot, then you're talking it's 780
Yeah.
HP of damage. I mean that's a one shot to a lot of tanks. That is.
So they don't know what tank, whatever I'm trying to say, what line is coming off of. I have to assume the Churchill, because that's the only heavy tank line there is.
Yeah.
But not necessarily. I mean, who knows what it's going to come off of. And they're not even sure if it's going to start at 6 or 7 or 8. This one just shows from 7.
This is a 7, isn't it? I think.
So what's weird is the can opener. We've seen some stats. You can't see it. It's behind your icon there. But that one's known and named. The other ones, they're going to name them.
Don't know about.
No, they're going to name them.
Double barrels.
Yeah, I think so. Well, who knows if they're going to have like a transition tank? But they're all of these three are named tank name.
They're going to call it. That's the can opener. So the 9 will be
Tank
the
name.
The bottle opener.
No, it says tank name.
Oh, does it tank name?
Yeah, just
really. Just
all three.
tank name.
All three of them are called tank name.
Tank name.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right then.
Yeah,
well, we'll
tank.
nickname it the bottle opener, and then the tier 8 can be the small cardboard box opener,
Okay.
and then the tier 7 can be a pair of scissors,
The skizzers.
the skizzers, and the tier 6 can be I don't know an earbud. I don't know. Where did that come from? Anyway. there you
I
go.
don't know, man. Yeah. So there's not a whole lot of detail. We do know that the 10's called the can opener, as Pilgrim said, tier 10, and the premium is called Contradictus.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Dactitious.
It's Latin.
And then there's a N level premium Great Britain tier N premium promotional. That seems to mean there's another one of some kind. I don't know. So that's fairly light on details, but there you go. That's what we know about the new line. I guess if I had to guess, it would be at the new year with that patch, and the premium is probably a Christmas box premium. I guess.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Yeah, possibly. These possibly could be Christmas, couldn't they? But I mean, there's a lot of tanks in the files that could be Christmas.
Yeah, but I think this one for the new line is probably going to be led in, but with a Christmas premium, and then the line will be released at the end of the year,
Released in the like normal. Yeah,
kind of like they've done a couple times in the past. But who knows?
I've dug into the stats. It is 840 HP of damage per salvo. 840.
So they're 420 alpha.
Yeah, that is just insane.
Sure.
Insane.
Here's some more.
120mm guns.
Jeez. You hope they make a sound instead of go.
Pew.
Yeah. So many are gonna go.
Yeah.
Trek Premium LT, maybe that's also been leaked potentially. I think that's actually one of the ones that's listed. Highway changes. Here's some super test stuff. I'll just show you the pictures here. This is the corner. I want to say it's the. Is that actual right? So the southwest corner, I guess, right here. And it's changed significantly if you look at this second picture. Bunch of trees, a couple ridges in here, different buildings. So we saw the buildings a couple weeks ago, last week, but I didn't realize all this other stuff. So they've really made this is completely different, to be honest. You can see the difference again here. This is the open field where there's a little bit of light tank gameplay, and look at how different this is now. Big building here, these two big doodads, a doodad there. These are all.
I don't think they'll be demolishable either. I think they'll be static buildings. I don't think you'll be able to knock them down.
I mean, I'm looking at. I don't think you can climb on these things. It looks like you can't get up on top of them. Maybe, I don't know. This one not. These look like soap rocks. This one maybe you can get up on top of. I don't know. And then this is looking from the other way. You can see the big buildings, how they've changed this around quite a bit. And then here, this is the middle with the bridge, and this is significantly different as well. There's still a bit of the river down here, but there's some extra buildings and cover and some trees and bushes and whatnot. So this will change this map as far as the way this side plays completely.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
We've seen this one. This is the open field that's on the other side over this way here. This is we saw the kind of undulating extra terrain. Oh geez, didn't mean to do that. The extra undulating terrain and whatnot. So that's very different. Still quite open though. And then this is the approach from the one cap going into the city. So it's not nearly as steep, and there's more cover here. They did not have anything that I could see that changed the city over here. That didn't seem to be touched, at least from what I can tell. This is the other cap. So that's how it looks now. This is, if you look at that though, this is where, you know, TDs hide over here in these bushes, and then occasionally you have one out here thinking they're going to get shots, and they get spotted and deleted. Very different. If you look down here, all these different pieces of terrain and whatnot. And then this is the other cap. Looking, this is not too different right here. This looks
it's not,
quite similar. There's a couple extra buildings. Looks like hardcover buildings that can't be destroyed for defense here of the cap. And they've also kind of changed the colors from brownish to greenish, at least in these pictures. Instead of this brownish color, it's a greener look for whatever reason. So there's that. Keep changing the same maps, refuse to fix mine. Yeah. No, you don't. No, we just move stuff around. We don't fix things. What are you talking about? What else we got? This was, so Watt Express release dates of update 127.1. It's showing January 15th. I'm assuming that means that release is going to be not Christmas clearly, because you'd have to have a patch for Christmas. So that is probably the one that's going to have the British line on it, 127.1, and some of the map stuff that we've been talking about. I don't have a whole lot of details on that. So there's going to be an interim 126 something, which will be the Christmas patch. I think we have a date coming up here for that. That's a RU TD, French TD. No idea if we're going to get this thing, but the Schneider 120 AC Gendarme.
But there's also the Sentinel. There's a Sentinel coming as well, isn't there?
Yeah. Now here's the can opener. For us or for Russia?
Yeah, no, for us. We've got the, it's a tier 9 heavy.
Oh, right.
Sentinel.
Yep.
Rapid 2-clip round.
Oh, really? Oh, right there. Yeah, we'll get to that.
90 HP.
Yeah. Here's the can opener.
There's a can opener, yeah.
And you, so this is a double barrel? Yes, it is. Okay, so yeah, as Pilgrim said, 420 Alpha. Now it's a tier 10, so that's kind of understandable. 840 is a lot.
That's if both shells pen, though, isn't it?
Yeah, let's see if this has details on what happens if you shoot twice. Let's look at the basic stats. We've got minus 10 gun depression, 0.33 dispersion, aiming time 2 seconds, reload is 10 seconds. That's actually pretty quick. That's very quick. Now it's only a 420 Alpha, but you're talking both barrels reloaded in 10 seconds.
Yeah, tier 10. You're gonna. If you're hull down somewhere, you're gonna absolutely destroy the enemy.
No, it's not very fast. It only does 32, 14 back. Armor's pretty good at 260 on the turret and 200 on the hull with some okay angling, it looks like. 390 view range. Okay, so that all looks standard. We're using an APCR shell, and it looks like we have a HESH shell. Yeah, 515 HESH. Or maybe HE, I don't know. I know that's APCR, and that's an AP shell. Crew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, that's if I've got.
Ouch. Wow. 2 loaders, fellas. 2 loaders. So good.
Because they're trying to make it like, well, you've got 2 barrels, so you need 2 loaders. Okay.
Yeah. So we've got 220 millimeter guns, as stated. Switch between, but this neither resets nor pauses gun loading. Can be done on the move. Wow. Single fire, gun shoot alternately, starting with the left gun. You can fire one of the guns only after the other has fully. Oh, okay. So there's a limitation.
Yeah.
You can fire one of the guns only after the other has fully reloaded. All right, so you have to both be loaded.
Which sort of lends itself to actually doing the double barrel shot because.
So basically, you're a cyclical gun.
Yes.
With a 10-second reload, and it just alternates which gun is firing, or maybe it shoots to the left every time. I don't know. But if you're in single firing mode, you got to wait for the other one. You fire, you still have one loaded, but you can't do anything. You have to wait till it reloads. Once they're both reloaded, though, you can hit X and shoot them both. And then
I think that will lend itself to that gameplay.
Yeah, and then they will both reload.
Yes.
So yes,
yes.
Sort of a 20. No, not a 20-second.
It won't be 20 seconds. Well, it's just 10 seconds for both barrels, isn't it? Because they're both loading at the same time.
Right. No, I don't think it's
That's
a 20.
right, Cliffy.
Right. So I can't. Well, except that you have less accuracy. That's the theory, right? I won't.
Yeah.
I won't shoot both because I want to be more accurate. I don't know if that's kind of.
You can probably directive that out or equipment that out.
That's what I'm saying. In practice in World of Tanks, generally people don't fall for that. Pilgrim, take care of the troops for a second. I gotta go take care of some.
I will indeed.
Yep,
I'll,
right back.
I'll sing.
Oh, good. sing them a song. You're the piano man.
Oh dear, I'm not singing anything. So, a 10-second reload, 840, I want to say HP damage. Ooh. Who's playing that like a TD then? Oh yes. Yeah, absolutely. So for me, I would always double fire. I would sit somewhere, one step back from the heavy lines, probably a heavy TD, a broader TD position, and just get hull down and just wallop people for 840 every time. Because, of course, it will pen every time. It will hit every time. It's going to be a game changer if it does. Anyway, talking about game changers, has anybody had a grand battle lately? Has anybody had the 30 versus 30? Because it's so sparse, I think it's dropped out of the whole thing. Talk about maps. Because I was just going through, just like I was saying before, I was going through all my files, just trying to clear everything up, and I've got lots of screenshots of various victories and losses and things like that. And I noticed, not playing a lot of tens either, Grendel. Yeah, well, I've just noticed that like all the grand battle maps always seem to be a lot more fun, I think, in my personal opinion. I know some people don't like it. Every 1 or 2 weeks on the ground. See, I'm not seeing it, but then I'm not playing that much as I should do, really. So I guess that might be it. Yeah, grand battles at tier 8 would be cool. I just love the fact you've got so much space to operate in. You're not constrained like this, like let's go to mines or something like that. You're not constrained with these small maps that you've only got one place to go or one way to go. So, yeah. Oh, did the Cliffy used to be tier 8 grand? Yes. Yes, there was, wasn't there? And I just think having all that space, you could, especially if you're in like a medium, a fast medium, or one of the Soviet mediums like the 430, 430U. They're just so much fun because you can go around just walloping people and then disappearing off into the sunset. I love it. I love grand battles. In fact, if they had just a grand battle mode, that would turn me back to World of Tanks 100%. Because at the moment. Oh, but do you see what happens, Grendel? When you get a grand battle map, you find that the tanks bunch because there's always those brawling spots that people go to. The heavies will go to, certain spots and all the rest of it. But as a medium, you've got all that to play with. Yeah, it'd be cool with a mode. Run around with a light tank. Absolutely. Or tier 8, that'd be cool. Yeah, absolutely. Grand battles, Guido, when you get your earphones back in. So we were just talking grand battle maps, how sparse they are, and I like that to be. I think Wargaming have missed a trick. I think if they turn grand battles into a mode where you can switch it on and just do grand battles, I think that would work because I love the 30 versus 30 with the big maps. Because I was just explaining, if you're in a medium. Yes, you're going to always have those little groups of heavies, wherever the brawl is.
Yeah.
But if you're in a medium and you've got, even though with 30 tanks on the map, you've still got lots of space. And a medium or a light can go around and just have. I just said there, if they brought it in as a mode, that would turn me back onto World of Tanks 100%. Right now, I'm sort of like, give or take 30 games a week, if I'm lucky.
Well,
Both accounts.
I've said it before. I'd love to see 15v15 on the Grand Battles maps.
That would be fantastic, wouldn't it?
That would make it wide open.
Yeah, that's a tank map then, isn't it?
Yep.
Not currently what we've got.
Need a bigger map because 30 players fast means. Yeah, I understand what you're saying on the Grand Battles maps, but I find them to play a lot like the regular maps just based on the saturation of so many tanks involved. You can only go about as far as you can go on a regular map initially without running into somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's really just.
It's almost certain, isn't it? It's like you know exactly where
It's kind of like just taking two 15 by 15 games and sticking them together with a border, and then they're all in the same game.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy it. That would be cool though if you were able to just turn it on and actually you got that every time.
Just do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's far a few between, I think. Although I haven't played a lot of tens these last couple of months, but also turn it on its head. We've also said this: the same size maps we currently got, but 7 versus 7. That again makes it, but as a mode, so you can just turn it on and go and play it.
Well, yeah, without super power ups and all the other BS.
Yeah, without superpower. It's just a 7 versus 7 with.
Yeah.
So instead of making bigger maps, Wargaming going, it's too much, all the graphics, blah blah blah. We'll just dial down the number of tanks in there and let's have a 7 versus 7. That'd be cool.
Play around with the numbers, maybe 10v10 or who knows,
10v10 or something, yeah.
Yeah. So this is the can opener. I guess we've kind of sorted this out. The reload time salvo fire mode is always ×2. Oh, wait a minute. The reloading time in salvo fire mode is always ×2 of the reloading time in single fire mode. If you shoot a salvo,
so it will be 20 seconds.
You need to wait twice as long.
Okay.
So they reload one at a time? Is that what I'm getting?
It looks like it, yeah. It looks like. Why have 2 loaders then? You know what I mean? What's the point in having 2 loaders in your crew then? That's a waste of time, isn't it?
So if you fire a salvo, you're 20 seconds out, which somebody said, and I said it was wrong, but it appears to be correct. So let's think about this. You can either shoot single mode. Once you get both reloaded in 20 seconds, you can shoot single mode and then reload every 10 seconds. So you're shooting every 10 seconds.
Yeah.
If you blap both, you're 20 seconds
yeah.
before you can even shoot one.
Yeah.
So that makes more sense.
Yeah, because you have to have one barrel fully loaded before the other starts loading. So if you just shoot one and then wait for the reload, you'll have always got one in reserve, haven't you?
Is that not more or less the same as the other mechanic, other than the little cooldown time thing? It feels like just a more streamlined version of the other mechanic.
Yeah, it sounds that way when you look at it that way. Yeah.
Because you can kind of do the same thing with the other one. It's just they have that lockout time and some other. I mean, it does. I don't know. Weird.
Wait and see till it comes out in the game. See how it's done.
So that's
I'll
that.
I'll get onto it. Not working. I will get onto it. We'll have Grand Battle maps for Tier 8. That'll be fun.
All right, and what else we got? We got Caliper. We talked about that. Oh, so Sentinel.
French heavy.
Oh, site can't be reached.
No armor.
Now
fast.
it can be reached. Tier 9, yep, heavy, 390 alpha, 258, 303. It is using APCR. Shell velocity 1,012 and 1,200. 25 seconds. Oh, so it's a okay. Like you said, it's
Two clip in it.
Yeah, 25 seconds to get two shots. -8 gun depression, 2.3 aiming, 0.35 dispersion.
It's 2.5 seconds between shots in the clip.
Moves pretty well for a heavy at 50. Turret's okay at 240, not amazing. Only 90 on the whole, so not much on the whole. For heavy, that's nothing essentially. So this feels more like a heavium.
Medium. Yeah, it's a bit more of a medium, isn't it?
Yeah. Although classified as a heavy, its mobility and armor are more like of a medium. There you go. The problem with that kind of doing that in the game is because they match heavies to heavies, you get into a city, now you're one of your heavies is this thing. You
Yeah,
know?
but that's very much like if you go down the tiers to tier 6 and you've got that VK, that heavy German VK at tier 6. I think it's yeah.
But why not just make it a damn medium? Why does it?
Exactly.
I don't even understand why. In this case, I'm looking at the stats. I'm like, that's just a medium.
Yeah. So just make it a medium. Why make it a heavy?
Why does it? Why is it a heavy? So that it can sit in a heavy slot, and you can be up against some super heavies and other decently armored heavies, and now your team's at a disadvantage because you can't always use mobility in the game. You can always use armor.
Yeah.
You can't always use mobility. I don't know. Whatever. That seems weird. That seems like that's a medium.
Do you know what's forgotten? Talking French tanks. Do you know what's been forgotten lately? And I've played a couple of games in it. The ELC BIS. It's languishing in the doldrums because of the ELC 90 and all the other fast super light tanks.
Well, they took away its big gun.
I've had a couple of games just last couple of days. I thought, oh, I'll go and try out some tanks that I haven't played for forever and a day. And I've had some really good games with my... in fact, if I've still got a copy of it, I'll send it to you. I had a really good game. I just played the spotting tank. And I didn't need to use the big gun, but I got something stupid like 3,000 maybe. I can't remember exactly. Yeah. I'll see if I've got the details. But anyway, 3,000 assist or something.
I guess they didn't take the big 240 Alpha from it. They changed it somehow, though, didn't they?
They did something with it, I know, because that's why it went into the doldrums, because it was...
Yeah. I don't know if they slowed it down. They did something to it.
They did something with it, I remember. But I can still... cater. I can still make it almost invisible. Not quite ELC 90 invisible, but I can certainly get it up to, I want to say, about 1,000 in camo. And spotting distance, I can easily ram it right up to max. So it does the job, and it's still a low tank. It sits in bushes quite well.
Yeah, little guy.
The only problem you get with it is because if you've got the big gun on it, you don't have the turret movement, so the azimuth is quite small. You can't highlight tanks and press the old T. You know what I mean? Because you've got to move the whole tank, and then if you've got binocs on it, you lose your vision. You know? Because it moves the tank.
You actually can.
Can you do
now
that?
Now you can do that, but you're right. You do have you need to lock your hole. Either hold down the right,
right, the right
mouse key or hit X, and then you can zoom in and swing around and tee people up. But it's trickier than just a regular tank for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so Holiday Ops.
Ops.
Here's the dates, guys. December 6th.
Woohoo! Well,
to January 16th.
December the 6th. Well, there we go. That's quite a poignant date in Pilgrim's calendar, that is.
So there will be a pause on November 26th when we finish Battle Pass. And the next week, it'll be about a week and a few days. And then that Friday, the 6th, the thing will kick off.
Good news. Well, that's early. Indeed. That's early this year.
No, I think that's about right.
6th of December is about right, is it?
Yeah.
First week?
Yep.
First week.
They.
No, you're right. Yeah. You are right. Yeah.
I think there was probably 5 or 6 years ago. It didn't start till around the 10th or 15th, like mid-December.
That's where I'm seeming to think it was like the second week.
It's been a while now that they've moved it up to kind of the first week, at least the last 3 years, I would say. I don't remember the exact details, but I remember it did start later before, but...
Right.
No indication of the collab. No idea.
Of the collab.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Nothing on that, actually.
Well, I mean, that's fine by me because I would hate to think they put girls in tanks or something on it because it would just ruin the whole Christmas thing. You know
Panzer Children?
No!
Christmas Panzer Children?
I'm hanging myself.
So here's the tier 8 double barrel thing, the premium. This is the one that's probably in the boxes. So it's got a 360 alpha, actually.
Still big, isn't it?
Yeah, 218, 255 pen with gold, minus 10 depression, 1800 DPM, 0.35. Ooh. Whoa. Look at the accuracy with the salvo. 1.15.
No.
That's
Can't be
like
right.
that's like artillery levels.
Yeah. That can't be right, surely.
Whoa.
Surely. Not.
And look what else happens. Look at the aiming time to do the salvo. 3.36 seconds.
Oh man, you're out there a long time, aren't you? You're out there a long time.
And so this gives better details than the other one on what changes. So your 36 kilometers goes down to 12 kilometers if you're in salvo mode. I don't know why your speed would decrease.
Well, you know, it's probably based on the auto leveler. You know, you get the auto leveler on modern day battle tanks, so they can stay on target even though
Right.
they're going up and down terrain. I bet that's a sock to that sort of mechanic, I guess.
Yeah, it could be. That's very interesting. 1.15, so it becomes very inaccurate with the double salvo. Of course,
More than a Soviet, more than a Russian tank.
yeah, your double salvo is always.
This is what I was saying earlier on, Guido, when you were away. I was saying that the play style for that can opener will be as a second line sniper come TD. I would sit hull down, use the good armour that it's got, sort out the double barrel thing so it's ready to fire, and just sit on a corner and wait for the enemy to come to me via my heavy tanks. I wouldn't play it like a heavy tank. It'd be like a TD, to be honest.
Well, and it would be playing it that way. You could do that, and then towards the end of the game, when you've maintained your votes and you've got your hit points, now if you get into any close-in brawls, you got the option to slap somebody for 800. You know.
Yeah.
But wildly inaccurate. That's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably
I think
the worst.
also you become a bit of an arty magnet as well.
I mean, even a KV2 isn't even that inaccurate.
No, it's not.
Like, what's a Caliban? Is it the Caliban that has a very inaccurate gun as well?
That's the big old one as well, isn't it?
Caliban is 0.52. I mean, it's twice as inaccurate.
And the
as that.
KV2 is Grendel's.
Yeah,
Grendel's
0.52,
KV2 is the
yeah.
same, yeah.
So that's actually getting into artillery ranges.
Maybe just fire HE and get the splash. Dear, oh dear.
What's an M44? An M44 is... It's worse than artillery. An M44 is 0.72.
Oh, this is mad, isn't it?
0.7,
Dear.
0.67, 0.53. What's it? Oh, here's the ultimate test. A gun carriage is 1.04. It's worse than the Conqueror gun carriage.
Right, so I want Quickie Baby and Skill to do a review on that tank. I want to see what that video comes out like. I really do.
Is the gun carriage the worst dispersion in the game? I bet it is.
Well, it's a mortar barrel, isn't it? So it's up
Yeah.
and over. So it will be, yeah.
I mean, the T92 is 0.79. T92 is a sniper compared to this thing. Huh.
Oh, yeah.
That's very interesting. Man, you're going to have to be close to make that happen. But you
This is
will
what I'm
be. I
saying.
mean, you
You're
can...
either- You're either... Sorry, go ahead.
If you're going to shotgun someone with a 53-55, I mean, if you're close enough, the dispersion doesn't matter. So if you're no kidding close, now you might have trouble sniping a pixel or a hatch. Even close, you might have trouble. But as far as hitting a side of a tank or a relatively large lower plate or something, you're probably going to have trouble with it.
Probably then. What was the second round? Hesh. Was it high explosive? The second.
It looked like Hesh to me.
Gold round.
Yeah, I think it might be Hesh.
I think that's where you're going to have to be. You're going to have to be at high explosive, aren't you? Because you might not get the 840 or whatever it is damage, but or the pen. Sorry, you might not get the pen, but you'll certainly get the damage. Like the big old FVs or something. You're going to have to play it really like a TD rather than a heavy, I would imagine.
Trying to find the Brit tanks with Hesh here, the stage. I mean, it's hard to tell the color on this, but it looks like the Hesh color to me, guys, right here in the bottom right. Right here. I'm looking at it in game too. I mean, the color looks about right, because regular HE is yellow, right?
Yeah.
Are these all Hesh?
It should have a red stripe on it, doesn't it, or something like that?
All the British tend to carry hash is the problem. Or it's the same color, I guess. Just kind of, it's yeah.
Cheers, O'Brew.
See you, man.
Yeah, okay, yeah. See, that's one thing I.
Oh no, the
head
head.
in RT.
See, that's the problem. The colors are very close, and then if it's a premium hash, then it has another red mark on it, so it's hard to kind of figure out. Other than if once you were able to hover over it, it would tell you. But of course, in this graphic, I can't see that. I don't know if that's a hash or an HE round. It is doing 5, which makes sense. It's going to be more. It is only doing 515 though, which is not that much more than the 420. So it's hard to tell if that's actually
yeah,
hash
it's
or
hard
not.
to tell.
And I don't think it's in the comparison tool yet. Let's find out. I'm pretty sure it's not. Tier 10. UK. No, it's not there. Conquer FE, blah blah blah. Heavy tanks. Nope. So it's not in the comparison yet.
No. Which makes me think if it's not in the comparison tool now, then I wonder if it will be a Christmas box. It's in the files now.
Well, remember, this is the tech tree tank, so
Oh yeah.
it's a super test tank. Yeah, so I wouldn't expect it to show up until that patch shows up. It's not like it's a premium they're getting ready to release or anything.
No.
And they don't always put the stuff in the files before the patch they come out. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It just depends on whether it's ready or not, really, at the end of the day. Like, there's a couple of the ones you already know that are in the files. I can't remember exactly, but we looked at a couple of them that are there. And there's a couple that we know are more or less ready that aren't in the files. They just weren't put in for whatever reason. It's not hash. Pen is low. Yeah, that could be it. The pen is... yeah, you're right. So probably HE because it's only a 60 pen. Yep, that's probably your surest sign, isn't it? Because the hash tends to have a slightly higher pen than regular HE. And I think that's about it, fellas. That's all we got. Bit of a shambles today, but we got through it.
What's it all over the place? I will definitely be here on time next week, mate.
All good, all good.
Oh, man.
I'm just staring at all this stuff I got to do, man. Holy cow!
You got busy week. You got busy weekend.
Contradictious is hash. All right, well there you go. A hash with a low pen. Yeah, I do have a busy week. I'm going to try, guys, tomorrow. I may have contractors now, so I don't know how it's going to work, but I may try tomorrow to stream a little bit if I can. We'll see what happens. No promises. That is my day off, but I also have 42,000 things to do. So
when's your refurb start then? Tomorrow?
Today. Yeah, I mean it started not today, but last week. So my kitchen's the center island's gone. The floors are gone. Some of the shelving's been torn out. I have a skip in my front yard. The stuff's getting dumped in. So right now I still have an oven and a sink, but I'll lose that probably tomorrow or the next day.
So how are you feeding yourselves at the moment then? How's that all working?
I just go down the corner with a plate. Please, sir.
You're begging.
Spare me a coin.
Are people sort of like chipping in? All your friends and that going, come round for dinner. We can see you.
I think there'll be a bit of that. There'll be a lot of eating out, I think, unfortunately. We got a microwave and a
Oh, okay. So
hot plates and crap, so we can kind of a pain in the arse, but we can make something.
Okay.
We have a refrigerator plugged in another room, so I have a refrigerator, so it's not down to nothing to eat.
Oh, all right. So you're not sort of like stripped out, living on subsistence.
It's gonna kind of suck for about 4 weeks, I think.
Definitely before Christmas, then you reckon? Everything done?
Man, I hope so. We're out for Thanksgiving for sure.
Yeah.
And then there's the whole election thing and whatever shenanigans happen after that. So I've picked a really good time to do something like this.
You have, haven't you?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's if you don't do things by halves, you do. If you're gonna do it the right.
If I'm gonna do something stupid, I'm gonna go full stupid.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump, you are, sir.
All right, let's find somebody to raid, and then I'm going to get on with what I got to get on with. Let's
I
see.
might have to send you and your house general a care package out, mightn't I? Of some sort.
Oh, we'll get through it. Oh, Orzanel is working out on stream. Okay,
Right.
great.
Okay. Oh, just very quickly while we're here, I did a quick donation to Stack Up yesterday. They've got some solo quests going on. So if you're into Stack Up and you want to help get in there, you basically ask the streamer of the not the day, but the streamer of whichever time zone that they're working out of to do specific things in certain games. So
Okay.
for pennies, basically it was $6 to get somebody to stand on his head. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Literally.
All right, let's raid Donska. I don't know nothing about this person, but let's do it. Let's do it. There we go. There he is. All right, fellas. Pilgrim, thanks for coming by, man. We'll see you next week. Everybody else, thanks for coming by. Like I said, I will try tomorrow to get a little streaming in. No promises. If it doesn't happen, then it doesn't
Well, I'm
happen.
off all week, so if you are streaming,
nice.
hit me up and I'll jump in and be that extra layer of armor for you.
Nice.
Might turn your games around for you.
Yeah, and at some point today, I've got to make some videos too. So there you go. All right, we're heading out, my friends. See you later.